I would like to introduce you all to a little bit of what I would term holistic health. And this lady that you see here in front of you, hi Deb.
Hi.
She is a lady whose work I really admire and who I find on the front edge of where holistic health is moving for us as humans and society as well. So I'd like to just we'll take our time with moving into this, but we've got a few questions to ask Deb on what her practice is and how she evolved to where she is currently. So yeah, I've known Deb for a few years now, and I actually utilise her services as well because I find them really beneficial and, you know, supportive and nurturing. Hey Deb, what about if we start with you telling us a bit about yourself, because I know you've previously had a few businesses. One of them was a naturopath business, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And
a few years ago
so
now.
I was doing a lot of spiritual groups, psychic development. I was involved with Spiritualist Church.
Ah.
So I sat in the audience there watching all these people do their thing, and that's where I got involved in healing work, hands-on healing.
So you've been involved in a lot of different modalities and you've experienced a lot for sure, eh Deb? So over those years you weren't afraid to try anything. You know,
No.
you weren't sort of blindsided and going, oh no, I don't believe this is a possibility, I don't believe that's a possibility. It was like you're open to it all.
And I think that actually expresses who I am as a person.
Yes, I agree.
Because I'm open to everything and I believe nothing. Okay? So because what life has shown me is that with more information, things change.
Yes.
So we're constantly in this evolving stage, you know, and we can't really, well, for me, this is true for me in my world, is that I can't hold on to anything, because when I'm open, it means that more and more information is coming in. So it just naturally evolves and grows and changes. So it's about adaptability, I guess.
I think that's a really good phrase for life at the moment. You know, we're moving so quickly, and the whole dynamics of how we live, our belief systems, societal belief systems, it's growing and changing and mutating, if you like, by the day. So what it was 5 years ago, it's no longer that, is it? But if you hold on to something, then you disallow the availability of something new coming in, like these holistic healing principles. So you limit your perspective of saying, how can I better myself, or how can I become better, or further myself, or become whole again? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's when we hold too tightly to anything, we shut the energy flow down.
Yeah.
So, so in that process of doing all that spiritual development, I was also training in naturopathy. Now, we're coming to that place of actually figuring out what it is that I wanted to train in. I knew I was so drawn to natural health and the empowerment of that, but there were so many different aspects of that that I was interested in. So all I really did was sat day after day, it felt, asking continually, what it is, which modality, what form of modality, what is that going to look like that I could focus my attention, I guess, into studying. And I guess finally the word naturopathy came to me, and to be absolutely honest, I didn't even really know what that meant. So I then studied, or I researched, I guess, what it actually was, and what I saw is that it encompassed so much, and it encompassed everything. It encompassed physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, etheric bodies. And I thought, that's it, that's me. It's not too focused, because I don't tend to work in that way. So I started studying. I had a small child, I started studying, and I also started practicing. So I just started
busy time.
I just started doing body work with people. And for anyone who's ever done body work, the more and more you put your hands on people, wow, things just, all sorts of things happen. It's just amazing. And so the more I put my hands on people, the more I wanted to take my hands off people and work more into the auric field.
Ah, right.
Which is where the emotional body sits.
Yes, yes.
So that was really, I think, probably more where I was drawn to.
So you did the naturopathy for quite some time as
Yeah,
your business. For how many years?
Yeah, so I pretty much practiced for about 10 years.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
during that 10 years you were realising that you wanted to move more into the sort of esoteric world, into the sort of vibrational frequencies. I know naturopathy is no vibrational anyhow, but we're talking more the non-visible or the out-of-body vibrational.
That's right, and because my teaching was very linear-based,
Yes.
however, being open to that, you know, which is so valuable. You know, I mean, that's the foundation that everything else sits on. So it was very linear, and however, the more and more I worked with people, the more I was starting to pick up.
Yep.
And the things started to happen that were beyond what I even knew how to interpret, I guess.
So messages from afar, messages from the spirit world.
Messages from the body.
Yeah, from the body
from
as
the
well.
people's body, from their past,
Yes.
from their present,
Yes.
and from their future selves.
And how do you receive those messages? How do they come to you?
It's a whole range of different ways.
Yep.
So I say that I sense.
Yes.
I sense things. Sometimes I see things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I hear things.
Yes. Oh, so a mix of them
It's
all.
a whole mix of them all, but it's a kind of a sensing, and it's a putting it all together. I call myself an intuitive. All I know is that intuitive actually sits really well with me, because what I do is all these different things, and they're bits and pieces, and then they put together into forming something.
Yeah.
So I guess when I worked in naturopathy, what started happening for me was that I was starting to pick up people's ailments in my own body.
Yep. Oh.
So I would feel it.
Feel it.
In my own body. So I would just connect with people, and then I would feel where in their body there were blocks.
Yes.
So it wasn't even about disease, dis-ease.
Yes, dis-ease.
It's about the energy interpretation of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where it's sitting as an energetic block in people's bodies.
And then
and that's actually something that I hold strongly.
Yep.
That diagnosing people's disorders is not a good place to go, because one, we're not medical practitioners, so it's a safety aspect. But also the other thing too is that as soon as something is diagnosed, it's limited and contained. So therefore that controls the process of healing.
Yep.
Yeah. So our minds, I'm going off track here, but our minds want to know. We want to know why. We want a diagnosis.
Yes.
Because it creates a sense of control for us. I think when we move more into a space of maybe not quite needing that so much is when we can actually access a lot more freedom.
Yes.
In our healing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us how they work and how perhaps you've designed them?
I suppose, I think first I'd like to speak to how they came about.
Okay, great.
On a particular day that I remember very clearly, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, popped the light elixirs into my awareness. So it was what you could call a download. It was like this thread that came down, and all this information just went boom, 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 boom into my being. So I was walking to my car to go to work as a gardener, and so I quickly grabbed pen and paper and start scribbling and just start jotting down all this information. The light elixirs downloaded in response to that.
Wow.
It's like allow us to capture those frequencies and to pop them into an essence, which I was already au fait with, because back in the 90s I created
that's what you've been doing.
flower essences.
Right.
A range of flower
lovely.
essences that I had made and was using in my practice. So I love flower essences.
I love flower
did.
essences. I think they're beautiful to work with. And
they really are.
They're very supportive, eh?
They are. They're beautiful. The bark flowers, and then I love the New Zealand range of flower essences.
Same, and the New Zealand herbs as well. Yeah, there's some beautiful ones out there.
Yeah, they really are. They are a beautiful medicine.
They are.
Because they're vibrational. So it means that they go into our frequency really quickly.
Yes.
And it bypasses a lot of the physiological processes
Right.
of our
Yep.
bodies. Yeah.
Yep.
So then it took me 2 years
Wow.
of actually bringing them into the
Integrating.
physical.
Yeah. Mm.
Because I had this huge process I had to go through to actually get to a point where I could even create them.
Yep.
So I had to really do the work, big time. And also, funnily enough, I'm just going to add this in for anyone who can relate, but that seemed to be the time when I went through menopause, which
Big
was
changes in life.
such a beautiful, uncomfortable state of being.
Yeah.
I kind of have nothing but gratitude to menopause, actually. I think it's a powerful, powerful stage for women, and it's something that I will work I will look at developing something around that and working with
I
people
think that's really
and
good.
offering that as part of
Because
my,
I don't think there's enough out there actually for that, and for empowering the woman from that stage on
that's
either.
right.
I agree
we see it
totally.
as something to avoid, and it's something like that's happening to me, and it's like, and it's the whole powerlessness of it. That's where the gift lies.
Yeah.
And it's what it does to our frequencies is just out of this world.
Yeah, very clearly now. But coming back now to the elixirs, Deb, so we'll just take a little look at them with you, and that's what we're viewing here in the camera, some of the mixtures that you already have made up, and you might just tell us a little bit more about them because they're quite intriguing to look at.
They are a little bit devoid of fancy labels. These are pre-made blends that are available on my website. It's a very intuitive process for the person who actually wants to purchase one of these as to what resonates with them. So there's 2 lots of blends really. One of them is a chakra blends. So those chakra blends are actually really interesting. There's a lot of I suppose contrary information in regards to chakras these days. Because I did all my work in the 90s in regards to that. I was always a chakra girl.
Yes, you are chakra.
It was always that was just where it was at. I could work with chakras, and what has come through in today is that that's still true for me. Yeah. Is that I connect very strongly with chakras, and I can sense and feel and interpret very well. And there's talk that chakras have blended and all sorts of things. And hey, that could well be true. It's just not my personal experience and the people that I work with. Yeah. But it's different for everybody. The thing is that these teachings are, they work on, even though they work in a chakra, so we might decide that we want to get the throat chakra elixir because we want to be speaking our truth and we want to be able to articulate. And that comes through with a whole range of teachings that in essence will help clear out the blocks that stop us from doing that on a day-to-day basis. So it could be ancestral, it could be, when I say ancestral, I mean it's traumas that have come through our ancestral line. However, the way I see these working is that, for me, I think it's important that we really consider how we are working with the chakras. And starting with the Earth Star chakra, I think, is the starting point. We start with the Earth Star chakra because that is our connection to the core of this planet that we're hurtling through the cosmos. And so it's our grounding, it's our footing, it's our foundation. It's where we can source so much energy. And it's just a natural symbiotic relationship that we have on Gaia. Then second to that clearly would be the base chakra, which comes with all its own teachings. Now all these teachings are on my website, so I'm not going to go through each and every one of them, but I just really wanted to mention that I think it's important that we really look at those first 4 chakras: Earth Star, base, sacral and solar. Yep. Because if they are not in a healthy state, then it's really difficult for the above chakras to then function. Correct. So we can go in, because if we really intuitively, and so if it is an intuitive decision that tells us, no, I need that throat chakra, then go with that. Trust it, no matter what anyone else says, because you are your own best healer. So do that. But if you are wanting some sense of guidance, I just think that that's the way that they work beautifully. Because as one gets unlocked, it actually helps to unlock the next one. So through balancing those lower 4, then that actually triggers the opening of the heart, which then triggers the opening of the high heart, which is our heart chakra is our self-love. So it's a physical love in a sense, and it's how we relate to other people in the physical world. Our high heart chakra is a divine love, and it's a higher spiritual plane. It's a higher essence of love. The high heart chakra actually represents our connection to all and everything. So it cannot be defined into the physical, which then triggers the throat chakra and then the higher chakras, So I haven't released some of those higher chakras as I spoke of earlier.
How long do you feel that a person needs to take the light elixirs for? Like, do they keep taking the same one, or do they progress through the chakras?
And my idea on that is to trust your intuition. So there is really a supply. I guess each elixir really contains enough for about 2 weeks. Then it's your intuitive self. It's connecting with your intuitive self to say, do I need the next one? Do I need the next one, or can I skip that? Because actually the healing of this chakra has triggered the healing of the next one. So I'm going to go to the one above that. There is no right or wrong in this. It really is about just intuiting. And on my website, I have a piece in there about how to actually intuit, how to select the elixir that would be right for you. It's like they call to you. They will call to you. So it is really important to trust that, to know that if they are right for you, then you will know.
I guess probably about covers off our talk. Do you feel, Deb, is there anything else that you would like to add, either about the elixirs or the healing sessions, or anything else just in general that you are wanting to share on the video?
I think we have pretty much covered everything, and then probably give me 5 minutes and I'll remember a whole bunch of things that I need to say. So really, ultimately, I've put a lot of time and energy into my website, and it contains a lot of information. And there will, again, still be things on there that are missing as well. So if you have any queries, just contact me, light@deborahjanine.com. And I look forward to talking with you.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Deb. It's been a pleasure talking with you today and telling us all a little bit more about your insights and awareness and your healing capabilities for us, and showing us the way to heal ourselves as well. So I think it's been really helpful. So thank you all, guys, for joining the video, and I hope that you have really learned a lot from the session, and that for those of you who are interested, feel free to go onto the website, and I'll put the link for that below the video as well. So thanks again, everyone. Much love. Namaste.
Namaste.